One of the worst things when getting a massage is when the therapist goes to the area that you want to focus on and they brush over it in about a minute or two, or when the massage comes to an end and they have 2 minutes left for your head and neck. What's going on, guys? Spencer here with HM Massage, and today we're going to go over full body massage timing, how long you should spend on each area, and how to change that depending on the client's needs. So the second your hands touches the client's, the time for the session has begun. And for the sake of most massages, I start on the back. For a 1 hour massage, I'm usually spending about 20 to 25 minutes on the back. I tend not to go over 25 minutes on the back because I feel a lot of people spend way too long on the back, and especially in between the shoulder blades, the rhomboids and traps. These areas get really overworked by too many therapists. And it's common because most people come in and they have pain back in there, and so the therapist wants to dig in and get out all of the tension. But the best way I found to address that pain is to actually work the surrounding muscles of the back first. So with 25 minutes, my usual back routine is going to go 5 minutes warm up, just all over the back, 5 minutes on each side of the back with their arms draped over to the side. Then I'll put the arms back, and with those last 10 minutes, I go in with a deep forearm and deep elbow, and of course, back out lightly and make nice after you've gone deep and done the work. Then move on. You don't want to fall into the trap of spending way too long on someone's back, and then they get nothing else hit, because they won't be back. From there, I move down to the hips and legs. And for an hour, I'm usually going to spend 10 minutes on this. That's 5 minutes on the hips and 5 minutes on the legs. The glutes and hips are a really important area to work. They're really big muscles. They're there for walking, sitting, squatting, jumping. All of these exercises are going to make this area tight. So it's good to address a little more there. And then I myself like to address the hips, go down to the calves and feet. Meaning I take a little time away from the hamstrings. The hamstrings for some clients could be a focus area, but I've found generally if somebody just gives me the old find it routine, I'm going to spend more time on the hips and more time on the calves and feet, because people love their feet rubbed, and it's something that, once again, a lot of therapists will maybe spend 2 minutes on their feet. I'll spend a little more time. So now we're 35 minutes into the 60-minute massage. Time to flip them. So we're gonna flip them over, and I'll start with the front of their legs, the anterior legs. I do very little work on the shins. There is a muscle, the tibialis anterior, that can be good to hit from time to time. It's probably sore on most people, but I find a little bit of quad work is pretty good, and I usually kind of brush over this area. You'll find that the quads are going to be sore for most people, so it's good to release those, get some blood flow, but I really don't make it a purpose to spend a ton of time on the anterior legs. Then we go up to the arms, the delts, and the pecs. Now I've separated this into arms and then delts and pecs. And that's because I feel the delts and pecs should be viewed differently than the arms. The arms are an extremity, whereas the delts and pecs are attached to the core, and so I feel like they should be approached slightly different. But generally I'll spend about 3 minutes on each of their arms, getting good hand work, getting some flexor work, some extensor work, and a little bit on the biceps. And then with the delts and pecs, I'll usually just do some cross fiber stripping right at the front of their shoulder joint, that glenohumeral joint. And then I'll do some pin and stretches for the pecs. And I really only spend about 2 minutes each side on the delts and pecs. But that's where the cross fiber into the pin and stretch, that gets a lot of work done in a very short amount of time. And finally, the neck and the head. Here is where I'll differ from a lot of therapists, because I like to save, in a 1 hour, at least 10 minutes for the neck and head. Because if there's one thing I've come to learn, it is people love their head massages. And the neck is always tight. It's a lead factor in headaches, in limited range of motion, and it's going to creep down and cause back pain. So I really like to spend a lot of time with the neck, And then even in a 1 hour, I like to do at least 5 minutes of head and scalp. This is feedback I've gotten from a lot of clients, is that they absolutely love the amount of time I spent on their scalp and head, because as I said at the beginning, there are so many instances where a therapist will get to the head and neck and they've focused on a different part of the body so much that they'll get about 3 head rubs in and then the session is done. So this is where I like to generally brush over a few other areas, such as the hamstrings or the front of the shins, so I can give more time to the areas that I feel need focused on. But of course, the beauty of massage lies in every massage being unique and different. So finding your own routine and mastering it is something that just comes with time and doing hundreds and thousands of massages. But I do hope that this video gives you at least a baseline, especially for newer therapists. If you're a little worried about how long to spend where, this can be a pretty good baseline to learn from and apply it to your massages. And then over time, you're gonna figure out what your niche is and what works for you. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like if you did, and subscribe to the channel for new content every single week. I will see you guys on the next video. I hope you have a great rest of your day.